Welcome, Hermina.
Hi, Jim.
Oh, how are you doing?
Great, really great. Yes, I had to think, but yes, yes.
Yeah.
hmm
Welcome in our webinar. I think it's number 51. Today we will talk about trust-based motivation. You're an motivation expert. You're a keynote speaker. You're an author. You have four kids. You have.
For kids, yes, and they inspire me a lot.
Yeah,
In
inspiring.
the aspect of motivation, yes, kids are not the easiest group to motivate. But for the people who have kids, what I will tell about trust-based motivation doesn't only apply within a working context, but also on kids. So,
Yeah.
mhm.
That seems a lot. What you are doing? So you're very busy.
I am. That's why when you ask me how are you doing, I had to think a little bit
Yeah,
because I am quite busy. That's correct.
yeah, and but in the things I see you doing online, it's all about motivation. Where is your motivation for motivation coming from?
Well, because use for motivation one of the most beautiful theories that I think that exist. And it's a theory, a scientific theory. I am a scientist, and it's a theory that completely changed my life. Not only work related, but also privately. So, and it's a theory that I use every day with my kids to motivate them, for example, to study, not to game, to eat healthy, etc. And it's more than a theory. It's and I hope we have, I think, half an hour that I can bring some of those basic principles over to people that are listening. Yeah.
Yeah, the floor is yours. The theory you're talking about it's self-determination theory.
Exactly, yes. But what's in a name? It's about self-determination. But for me, there are several levels into the theory. Well, motivation, it's called a motivational theory, but for me, it's a lot broader than that because just being motivated is not what for me is important. I for me it's important that people, teams and organizations and families and whatever groups flourish. You see, flourishing.
Yeah.
And flourish for me, it's that people feel well and that they can do what they like to do, and that they are in, they have kind of an energy that is flourishing. Actually, you can see immediately, is someone flourishing or is someone not flourishing. So this is, so motivation is just a way to make people or let people flourish. Yes, but Jim, maybe because I work a lot on motivation, and it might be interesting if I just start by defining motivation. Would that
Mhm.
be a good start? Because
The,
yeah,
the floor, as said, the floor is yours.
or yeah, I have to take it. Okay, okay. Well, because most of, well, not all people know what motivation is, and if I give a workshop or a keynote, for example, I can do it right now. I generally start with a question. It's now in Belgium 1 o'clock. How many times did you already motivate yourself? And then people are like, two times, and then I go deeper, and suddenly it's, oh my god, already 20, 30, 50 times I have oh my god. And it's, so it's like motivation is there through, I mean, like every second, every minute. there is an aspect of motivation in yourself. And then a second question is, how many times did you try to motivate someone else? And that can be the bus driver. Whoop, stop. It's motivation. It can be your neighbor. Oh, you put your car again on my, you see, it might be your partner. Please make me a coffee or whatever. And so motivation, we are all the day, we are busy with motivating ourselves and others. And therefore it's I can easily fill my day and my life with just working on motivation. But then what is motivation? Because we cannot see it. The only thing we can see is what people are doing, and we can assume that they are motivated for the behavior that they are doing. And to explain this, I go one level deeper, and it's the level of needs.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, and this might seem a little bit, whoa, some people can be a little bit shocked about what I will be telling right now, but it's we are all the time busy with motivating people, but because they have needs. Needs are kind of an emptiness, or stated differently, kind of an energy that put us into motion. If we are hungry, we will do something in order to fulfill our needs. Yeah, and we will eat. There are physical needs, but there are also psychological needs. And these are the needs from the self-determination theory. And if these needs are fulfilled, we flourish. If these needs are frustrated, we don't have any energy. But what is so shocking on this, that is every moment of the day, we are trying to fulfill a need. It's very basic, it's very primitive,
Mm-hmm.
but this is what puts us into motion.
Mm-hmm.
Jim, what do you think about this way of looking at behavior and motivation?
Yeah, I'm not that surprised.
And actually, you should be asking questions to me, but I'm always curious to see what the effect is of. It's not egoistic to fulfill our needs. It's just so important.
Yeah. So most people do know the ABC.
Mm-hmm.
When I asked the ABC, autonomy, belonging, competence, like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
Perfect.
yeah, when I had Lieven Annemans here in
Mm-hmm.
for a webinar, I think one year ago, I asked him because in my vision, ABC is only covering part of of the load, part of the total, and I asked him the same question. Um, what amount of what amount is covered by that ABC to fulfill like the needs? Because I have my own model, and in that own model, I see other things that are yeah. You always can translate something in like in one of these three things. But he told me like it's only in his opinion, it's only 30%, 30% of everything is covered by the of the needs are covered by the ABC theory, but they are always there. Is that
Mm-hmm.
also your vision?
Well, actually, my vision is not so important here. In all the work that I do, I just there is that theory SDT, and to answer your question, it's like the explained variance of the ABC. What I can do is look it up, because there are a lot of meta-analytic studies, and in such a study I can look the but I don't know it by heart. What is but it's what is important, going back to the physical needs, it's
Mhm.
like being hungry, thirsty, rest, whatever. there is no agreement yet on the number of needs and the amount of explained variance. On the psychological needs, there is, like Lieven Annemans also told you, there is agreement. It's only these
Yeah.
three needs, and there are other candidates, like the need for nature is one. The need to it's like for I don't beneficence is it was in 2016 that that need was discovered, you know, to have an impact on the life of others. That could be the fourth need. But then what does SDT do? The researchers, they start doing research, of course, and by questionnaires and checking and validations, and there is no fourth need yet on that beneficence need. It was almost there, but if you go to the frustration, there were no, you know, really statistical things. So far, these three needs explain our flourishing.
Mhm.
And of course, what I do is, for I call it the ABC check, and this is a really simple tool. Everyone can do it. If you feel a little bit tired or demotivated, or you don't have some energy, like depressed, a little bit sad, whatever negative emotions are there, check your ABC and give it a score. And really, almost always, it's one of these three needs that is not fulfilled.
Mhm.
Or you have to do something. Autonomy, frustration. You are under pressure, time pressure, whatever. There is, you know, that's the A. Or it is the B that is not fulfilled. It's like you have to, like, you're in a meeting with someone you don't like, you don't trust, whatever. There is no connection. You have to put up your mask. You can't be yourself. B, frustration. Okay, and that's just takes a lot of energy from people. Or you have to do something that you don't, I mean, you don't have it in your fingers, so you have a lot of stress, like I won't be able to do it. Or it's too easy, you're bored, or you cannot learn. Imagine, Jim, you be a whole week you haven't had the time to learn anything. I mean, it can be whatever. If we don't learn, that's our real basic need, to learn, to grow. Yeah, so for me, the ABC check always gives some clue on what I can work on to feel better.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Now, yeah. Now you talk about trust-based motivation. What is the link then with SDT?
Well, the SDT formulates four different types of motivation. Okay, we have external pressure. It's
Mhm.
like we do something because to earn some money, a bonus, whatever, appreciation, compliments, external pressure. Second is internal pressure. We do something in order to avoid feelings of guilt, shame, or anxiety. Internal pressure is, in a working context, the most important predictor of burnout. Yeah.
Mhm.
External pressure and internal pressure, if you use them, you are motivating others or yourself by using control.
Mhm.
Okay, you are either is I have to or you have to. Okay, these are low quality motivators, but they work.
Mhm.
For example, an example of external pressure is a speed camera. Does it work? If I ask my audience, I always check. It's like 95% says yes. I I I decrease my speed. I slow down. Second question: if you pass the speed camera, what are you doing? Do you just speed up again? Yes. So a speed camera is really efficient on the short term. Does it make people happy? Do you see people smiling? Yeah, yes, yes. No. So but it's very effective in a short term. But when will you use a speed camera if you don't trust the people? If we would say everyone slows down in or is like 120 or 50 or whatever the speed that is legal, then you shouldn't need the speed camera. But people, there are some trust issues, and in society, in families, in a working context, in teams, everywhere. And that's the dynamic between trust and control.
Yeah, yeah, that's clear. Also, in my model, it's the difference between, yeah, really starting to engage people. That's maybe another question. Is there a difference between engaging people and motivating people?
Well, the strange thing is that I don't. It's not that I'm motivating people. I fulfill their needs.
Mhm.
And if their needs are fulfilled, then imagine that you are hungry and suddenly I give you a nice meal and some drinks, of course. Yes. Just feel what happens to you. It's like there is some energy, relaxation, and that is, I mean, yes, then you will have the energy to do something else and to work better. And is that motivation? Is that engagement?
Mm.
It's more like if people have their needs frustrated, they fall down. And for the physical needs, there is no discussion. Imagine that I would say, "Oh, Jim, I am really thirsty. I need some coffee or some water." You will not say, "No, you aren't." But if I would say, "Well, it's not a good learning moment for me, and my need for competence is not fulfilled," then you might argue. You see, it's so the psychological needs within a working context, it's not easy to share, to talk about. So it's, and if, of course, an exercise that I do most of the time is go and look at your neighbor deeply in his or her eyes, some, let's say 30 seconds, okay? And then what does he or she needs? People say, "Oh, I have no idea." Of course, I cannot see in your eyes, Jim, what your needs are right now.
Mhm.
If you express your needs, then the chances that they will be fulfilled will be bigger, of course. So, and that's also important that people dare to express their needs. And children are really, I mean, it's like a child of 3 that is hungry, no matter where it is, you will know it. Okay. And what are we doing? Shh, not here. No, 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 not appropriate. Wait. I mean, we eat at 12 o'clock, not now. Be a good boy or whatever. And that happens all the time, the socialization of kids. And when kids are adults, what have they learned? Not to express their needs. And then it's 12 o'clock and they just know it's lunchtime. Am I hungry or not? I don't have any clue. I just eat because it's 12 o'clock. So you see, people are really disconnected from their needs. And that's why I just, within teams and organizations, I just try to, let people connect again with their needs
Yeah,
and they flourish,
mhm.
start to
Yeah,
flourish.
yeah. These needs, are they linked to awareness, to consciousness?
Yes. Well, yes, of course, because um, I will not argue a lot of our needs are not. I mean, we are not aware of all of our needs, and it's so hard. I mean, for me, it's always going deeper and deeper and deeper into, and it's because, I mean, if you go to a child of 3 and ask their needs, they will just share. Oh, I love it. But an adult, I mean, there are several barriers in order. So, yeah, but for me, it's possible to make people aware of their needs. That's one of the main goals.
Yeah. What I mean is, people who are like conscious going towards spirituality, do they
Mhm.
have other needs than people who are like less working with spirituality, or like they don't really think about yeah, just the, the why and everything that is around it.
Well, Jim, the needs, according to me, and this is my opinion, okay, okay, are the same. It's like we all are hungry sometimes, but
Mhm,
what we eat will differ.
mhm,
Some will eat, sugar, others just a salad. It's the same with the ABC. We all want to learn, but the topic on which we want to learn, for some people, that will be, my spirituality and whatever, and the why questions of life, and for others, it will be, this is a new tool and a new software, and they will focus on more technical aspects. So you see, the need is independent of the topic, but
mhm,
everyone wants to learn, and that's so. In my groups, I always say we all have the same needs, but what differs are the strategies. And actually, this is a quote of Marshall Rosenberg. The strategies to fulfill those needs differ. That makes us all very specific and beautiful, because the strategies differ, but the needs, Jim, are the same.
mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah, okay. And that trust-based motivation.
Hmm.
Tell us more about, the importance of that part of trust in motivation.
Well, maybe what I can do, because is give a scientific definition of
Mhm.
trust. And well, maybe can I use Mark van Ranst? I know all the Belgian people will know him, but the maybe you can. I mean, how do we describe Mark van Ranst, Jim?
Yeah, that is the guy who got a cake in his face last weekend because people are sick of his promotion of vaccines during COVID, something like that, to
That's
keep
Mark van
it.
Ranst. But well, during the pandemic, he was a really famous Belgian virologist, and he had, I mean, lots of prestige, and everyone listened to him. Yes, okay, and he had also a lot of influence and impact. Yes, on decisions. Okay,
Yeah.
so some people say I don't trust him because he's not competent. Okay, if you think someone is not competent, you will not trust him. Okay, others say, well, no, Mark van Rans, he is competent, but he's not loyal.
Mhm.
Okay, if you don't, and loyalty means loyal to the team, loyal to the organization. In his case, it's loyal to us, loyal to pharmaceutical, whatever. Loyalty, second crucial ingredient. And the third one is integrity. Some people say Mark van Ranst really competent. Actually, yes, he's loyal, but he's not telling us everything. He's hiding something from us. Integrity. And these three components of trust, I mean, they all have to be there in order to be trusted or to trust someone. And this is really a tool that I use a lot in my groups, because trust is always an issue. I mean, and
Yeah.
then it's always a difficult one, because how will you talk on trust? Don't you trust me? Or you have, yes, no, you don't get that promotion because I don't trust you. I mean, the B in the ABC is completely frustrated. But if you say, someone comes to you, why I'm working here for 30 years, and why don't I get that bonus or promotion or new function, and my colleague does, and then don't you trust me? And then you can say, hey, you are the most loyal colleague I've ever known. You've never lied. Your integrity is amazing. But maybe we should just do something on your skills, your C. And then you can break a difficult topic as trust into small pieces.
Mhm.
And then you also know where to work on. And I mean, I just also with kids, by the way, Mom, don't you trust me in? Well, and then you can say one of these three. And one extra point is the last part, integrity. Some people lie within a working context, and then we say it's a liar. and that's why I don't trust him. But what I see and what I always want to discover is what's the I'm looking for the word here. I mean, what's the role of the team or the leader in the lying behavior? Because if imagine that I just do an immense blooper, yes, and my boss, I have to, but I know that he will completely react full of anger, and yes, what will I do? Try to hide my mistake. Okay, so I will lie, not because I'm a liar, or not because I'm not trustworthy, or because I love to lie, no, but because I am afraid. And this is something you can work on, within teams, that you are open for mistakes and for new comments. For example, there is a new software and it's not working, but people don't like to work with it. But do they dare to share this with you? Like, it's not working.
Yeah.
Or are they afraid of your reaction? This is psychological safety, of course, that I'm referring to, but trust and psychological safety are so closely related.
Yeah. And what are then the benefits when you have that trust in your organization? What are the benefits? Are there like scientific proven benefits the moment that trust is installed?
Yes, because if trust is there, you don't need to control. Then it's and it's also related to theory X and theory Y. And theory X is like, I can trust. It's like, no. And I also, he will not like it here maybe, but I use my oldest son, 15 years. If he tells me, Mom, I'm going to study and I am in a theory X vision, it's like he's rather lazy than tired. And no, he will not study in his room. And what will I do? No trust, I will control him. Okay, but imagine, yes, that I can trust him. And if he says, Mom, I'm going to study in my room, and then I trust him and I don't need to control. Of course, my role is still necessary. I need to guide him, to follow up. I knock on his room every 2 hours and like, do you need anything, Simon? Can I help you? But also, and this is very interesting, imagine that I knock on his door. I enter his room and I see him gaming, okay, with his headphone on, gaming. If I am in a theory X perspective, I will, oh my God, Simon, aren't you studying at all? And you are just wasting your whatever. But from a theory Y perspective, with trust, the same behavior, but I will think, oh my God, he will have studied for 2 hours and he's just taking a break. So even with, trust or no trust, you will interpret the behavior of people completely differently. And also in a working context, this plays. And then your question to the consequences. If you control people, also something I ask in my public, who likes to be controlled? Second question, who likes to control? Actually, no. People don't, managers, leaders, they don't like to control, and still they do because they don't trust. You see, and if you control people, you put pressure, their output performance will, it's completely, there is no positive look at the speed camera. The only positive consequence is that people will slow down for 1 second and then they are gone again.
Yeah. And the link between trust and respect.
For me, respect is what is respect, Jim? How would you define it? I'm rather critical. No, not critical to the concept of respect, but I would like to know what it is before answering the question. Yes.
Sure. Respect. It's kind of treating it's treating people in the right way. It's also kind of accepting that people are as they are, so without having to it has multiple
Mhm.
aspects, but sometimes I'm thinking what comes first. Comes first respect and then trust, or is it trust and then respect? So that's an internal question that now popped up.
I think, Jim, if you don't trust people, that you might not respect them. But again, it's a really intriguing question. Also, the definition of respect, because people use it a lot. You don't respect me, so it's like you don't trust me. So I see where your question is about. So, but I have noted for myself two internal questions. First of all, how much variance does the ABC explain? And I'm really curious, within the most recent meta-analytic study, it's there. And the second is the relationship, scientifically a bit between trust and respect.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a third one, Jim, that I can't answer? But I'm not. Yeah. Mhm.
The first one, it was just an assumption of
Mhm.
I have a mathematical background, so
Mhm.
sometimes I make formulas, and then when I asked that the question of that formula to Lieven Annemans, he told me like, yeah, 30% is covered, but that was just his estimation, so it might be 70 or whatever. So, but
Mhm.
what I see when I go into a company and I just look at the ABC. Uh, then I have there's a lot more than that. For example, self-realization. For me, that's the highest motivator. Where is that in these three components? You can try to bend it in one of the three, but for me, it's not included.
Okay.
And
Well.
that is something what you were telling me, like to see people blossom and to see people being energized. For me, it's the moment that you help people realize their dreams and take away their burdens. Then they make the next step. Then you see them growing in self-confidence, and the moment that they see they are able to do something that they were thinking not being able before, then you see people
Mhm.
really grow, and that is what gives me energy, and that is also what I saw in the period that I was a plant manager. The moment that you start like really putting effort in helping people blossom,
Mhm.
then you really get effects that are like a multiple of all the rest, and all the rest is needed, but really the biggest jump come what I
Mhm.
saw the moment that you help people with that.
But that's completely correct, and I always have translate into the ABC, and
Mhm.
in your, it's like you really make people competent. I mean, give them the, so it's the C, and also the self actualization, because the beauty in the word blossom or flourish is that there is no end goal. It's not they have to, it's just flourishing. Yes. And for some people, flourishing or self-actualization will be, just being a good mom. For some years that was for me completely flourishing if I had my kids and my babies. But now, no, I have some other goals. But the principle, the need is exactly the same: feeling competent and in what I am doing and learning. And really, there was a time that I was just checking, from diapers, which is the best one to learn. But I was learning. Now I am, of course, learning some other topics and issues. But the need is really the level below.
Mhm.
Do I have time just quickly to go to the high quality motivation, Jim?
Sure.
Yeah, yeah, I am, because you told half an hour, and
Yeah,
it's
but
all.
it's approximately half an hour. When you want to talk for 45 minutes, it's really also.
Okay, yeah, because what I also heard in your, self actualization, it's of course the basic, and it made me think of the high quality motivation. We already discussed low quality pressure, external, internal pressure. We don't like it, but it works. Feelings of guilt very efficiently. Yeah? If you want someone to do something, haven't we invested enough in you and whatever, and but high quality motivation, and high quality motivation is the same as flourishing. But high quality motivation is not just intrinsic motivation. Intrinsic motivation is one part of it. The other part is meaningfulness, purpose. And this is so an interesting topic because it's not easy for a leader to make work fun. For me as a parent, I cannot say, Simon, please enjoy studying. No, no. But I can focus on the meaning, on the purpose. And both are aspects of high quality motivation. And this is the power of the SDT, self-determination theory, that it broadens not only from intrinsic motivation, but it goes to the meaningfulness. And I mean, for me, the challenge is make work meaningful. Sometimes I enter in, production environments, and in two seconds, I know this is not fun and it's not interesting. But it might be meaningful what is happening here. And if it's not meaningful, why should we do it? Okay, so this is, do you feel the power, Jim, of the SDT in a working context? We don't have to make work fun. No chief happiness officer for me, but make work meaningful. And that's feasible for most of the jobs.
Yeah, well, what I saw when I was in production environment, that people are in a lot of cases, they are already happy when it's safe, when they don't have to rework everything, so that they don't have to do work that does not have any meaning, because doing twice the things that you normally can do in one go, yeah, that's not motivating at all. And the moment that they can like just contribute a little bit to express their ideas, that is for me, in a lot of cases, the basic. So safety and trust is there also in that area. And then depending on, yeah, when these basic needs are met, then you see that people start looking, now, okay, now I want to create an innovation, or now I want to do something to grow my personal position, etc.
Yes. Yeah. I feel that you feel it, the power of this
Yeah, but with
meaningfulness.
these guys, you should not have you should not ask the question, do you want to go for a walk during lunch? They at
Oh.
that moment they don't have that need. They want just to relax and eat their
Mhm.
sandwich, and just be away from.
Exactly, Jim. And this is what you are referring to now is a strategy, like going for a walk during lunch. But imagine that the example would be having lunch together,
Mhm,
and there is always one colleague that is not joining.
mhm,
Okay, so that's what you see. This what people will do. My God, we will, judge on those people like they don't have the need to belong. They are disconnected. They are not motivated. But that's not correct. The only thing you see, it's that person is not joining for lunch.
mhm.
Yes, but his or her need to connect, the be, is is still there, but that person just has another strategy to fulfill that need. It's
Yeah.
like, well, I more like to have copy or just a Zoom meeting or whatever. And when that person says no to the lunch, that person says yes to another need, like some time for myself, rest.
Mhm,
So you see, that's the dynamic interplay of all those needs. But the mistake we often make, and that's what I see in organization that I work, it's like we use behavior to, yeah, to judge on their needs. And that's not, I mean, there is no one-to-one connection between need and behavior. It's like one need, thousands possible strategies.
Mhm.
Is it a little bit clear what I'm telling? Yes.
Yeah, for me, yes.
Okay.
We will see if the
Mhm.
people watching are asking questions afterwards. Then we will see.
They always can ask me questions, or you, of course.
Yeah, yeah. Do you have extra things to?
I can continue for hours and hours. I won't, but I think maybe just an invitation to the people that are still listening. I already gave the ABC check. You know, if you are just check your ABC and look for different strategies to fulfill. Another is the motivation check. So I already mentioned the 4 motivations, and now I invite people, if they cook, if they prepare after work, they can do this, and you can apply the motivation check to all behaviors, but just cooking, and then you can check: do I cook because I have to? Do it's from my partner, external pressure? Yes. Am I cooking because if I'm not cooking, I would feel guilty or ashamed? Okay. Or is it meaningful for me to cook? Or do I love to cook? You see? And every time you do something because of external or internal pressure, try to. And you can also, in a meeting, do the motivation check. But for this, you need a scary honesty. You can check people, okay, meeting here, every Tuesday, 8 o'clock, everyone in the office. Why are we sitting here? Who is here from external pressure? And be open to what comes. Yes, I have to be here, of course. You expect me to be here. Or internal pressure. Well, if I don't show up, I would feel guilty or ashamed. Or is it meaningful? And then try to, how many people find this meeting meaningful? Or, yeah, it's just fun. You see, Jim, the 4 motivations, you can play with this. This might be a nice to end with.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you very much for all the scientific and other knowledge that you brought into this coffee break.
With pleasure, yes.
Thank you. I see you soon.
Yes, bye, Jim.
Bye bye.